KROQ, Klein Alley Show. It's the part of the show I've been looking forward to most all day long. Final round of open nominees for America's Weirdest Relative. The grand prize is, of course, bragging rights that you do have America's Weirdest Relative. But also, you'll get 4 on the floor for KROQ's Almost Acoustic Christmas, happening December 14th, Kia Forum. Smashing Pumpkins, 311.
Beck.
Sublime, Beck, the list goes on and on and on. All the bands, all the vibes, and you will be there as well, on the floor, up close to the big bands. And all we're asking for from you, as we are now T-minus 1 week to go till Thanksgiving, you'll be sitting at a table potentially with some of these relatives that you'll be nominating. You have studied them year after year after year, all of their little quirks and weird things about them, and you tell your friends and other family members, God, our uncle, he's got to be the weirdest on the planet. But everyone thinks they have the weirdest on the planet, and now it's time to prove it. Here we go.
It's time to find America's Weirdest Relative.
Oh, here we go. This is the third and final day of open nominations. So we've already picked a few people that we've met earlier this week that we think will be fast-tracking to the finals. And then we'll make the big announcement next week just before we go on Thanksgiving break. Who is the weirdest relative for 2024? And Allie,
the competition has been fierce.
I mean, just as a reminder, and if you want to get on the phones now at 800-520-1067, now's a good time to call us. Just to recap your memory, recap some of what has happened here on the show already this week, because I can't even keep track of them all. We had Nicole, who called in about her uncle yesterday, who took a bath in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner, but brought his plate of food with him to the bathtub and ate it there. Cindy, whose cousin Ernie sniffs everyone when he walks by. There's Ryan, whose uncle lives in a van and sells karaoke machines out of the van.
And sings karaoke from the machine to demonstrate how it works.
There's Cara, who we met yesterday, whose uncle is yellow. Everything in his life is yellow. His house
the yellow
is
man.
Yellow. His clothes are yellow.
I
and
love
he's
him.
Feuding currently with another person in the neighborhood who's red.
Who wears red.
So they're fighting.
So
then you got Nellie, who told us about her brother that picks his nose a lot, but he also has a finger that he shot off. So it's really just a hook pinky that he uses. Hector, his uncle, brings a bucket with him for whenever he has to relieve himself. Marlon, whose aunt is a cheek biter, will go up and bite people's cheeks, not only when they're kids, but even as adults. Mm-hmm. Gabriella, whose cousin paints with his own blood and then signs the painting Satan.
Oh,
and then,
I forgot
Mitchell,
about that.
whose uncle is always recording himself getting into fights with self-defense dolls, but then he dresses them up afterwards and shows everyone the videos. So, I mean, this is just a beginning. I don't know, right?
That is still my favorite.
It is like a real all-star team of weird right there. But now it's your turn to add to the weirdness. Any relative, any story, if you think they have what it takes and you want to win these tickets, now's the time to call us.
It's time to find America's Weirdest Relative.
All right, let's say hi to Darren on KROQ. We'll make our way up and down these phone lines for one final round of open nominees. And if you think your uncle is not, or whatever cousin is not weird enough, try us out. Because sometimes you think the mild weird is not weird enough, but sometimes that's the exact right amount of weird. Darren, who you nominated?
My Uncle Dale.
Starting off with uncles again.
What does Uncle Dale do that you believe makes him the weirdest relative in America?
Well, he brings a watermelon to all the events, and he's called the Melon Man, and he makes his little mix of vodka and whatever he is, and he gets way too drunk.
Right.
He sniffs everybody's perfume, which all the hot women in our family sniffs their perfume, and he tries to kiss them.
Oh, my God. Just full on. Like people he's related to, like his cousins and nieces and everyone?
100%. I have a lot of hot nieces, so.
Right. No, you can,
that's creepy.
You may win this competition. I know you called on behalf of Dale.
When you say he drinks too much, is it one of those like vodka melons that he's filled with vodka, or is the melon separate from the binge drinking?
No, he brings the melon. That's his signature. He brings the melon. He mixes a little cocktail in it. He tries to pass it around. But he's pretty much the only one drinking it.
He calls himself the Melon Man, but he's doing it just for himself. No one else is partaking in his melon, and then he goes around sniffing people.
Yeah, that is a special kind of weird when there's something, a recipe that you're really obsessed with that no one else likes, but you're still going to make it every single year.
That's a good nominee right there, Darren. That's Uncle Dale. Add him to the list. Let's say hi to Jennifer. Jennifer, you think you have the weirdest relative in all of America. Why?
My cousin Nikki, for years, has always picked her boogers, and she'll do it at the table, like with no shame. She just is like knuckle deep in her nose. And a few years into it, she started carrying this Mentos, the brush maker, whatever, that little tin of, it was empty, and she would roll up her boogers and she would put it in the tin, and she still carries around this Mentos tin and taps her boogers right in the tin.
Oh my God.
That is a different.
And it's this weird thing that everybody just pretends isn't happening at the table, but she tucks it away. I don't know what she's doing with them. But
this year, you'll be sitting there having Thanksgiving. At one point, the Mentos tin will come out on the table.
I would lose my appetite.
You know this Mentos tin is filled now with probably thousands of boogers. She will pick a fresh one and throw it in the tin?
yeah, she tries to be a little slick about it, but we all know what's happening.
Right, exactly. And then she'll just continue eating.
Wow. Okay, hold on.
My God.
That almost made me gag.
I am sick to my stomach.
Oh,
if I saw that at a Thanksgiving table, I don't know how I would continue eating.
Mike, why do you believe you have America's weirdest relative? Who are you nominating?
My mom.
Oh,
great.
We don't get a lot of mom and dad nominees, and I think it's about damn time because a lot of people's parents are weird. They just, all the glory goes to the uncles and aunts. But go ahead.
My mom has this weird trait where she'll smell the chair after somebody gets up and walks away.
What? Does she go like on the? She smells the seat, or she smells?
She smells the seat of the chair, like to smell like what the butt smells like.
And is she doing this for? If you had to, like, is there a reason? Have you ever asked her what the reason is?
She'll. Yeah, I have, and she'll say that she thought that person smelled, and she had to confirm it.
So anytime someone gets up from a chair, even if, I mean, it's just like every time you're sitting with her having a meal and
It's not every time.
Right.
It's somebody, like, if she's, like, kind of just, like, checking them out or think they smell weird. Often with overweight people, to be honest with you.
Well, I would imagine that this is an OCD cleaning
You think
thing.
so?
Yes,
Really?
because I think that moms can get very protective over the dinner table and the cleanliness and the state of everything. So if there's somebody that seems like they're going to smell and then that smell's going to linger on her nice chair, if they get up, she wants to. It's like a dog peeing on a tree. You know, it's like, what's going on here? Is this still mine?
That's possible. She's very OCD, very clean.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Mike's mom smells the seat of people after they get up to see if they smell. Does anyone ever catch her smell? Hold on, Mike. Does anyone ever catch her smelling their seat, or does she do it discreetly?
Not that I know of that person that she's smelled has actually caught them that I know of, but I've caught her.
I would be alarmed if I got up and came back and someone was sniffing my seat. I mean,
Especially if it was like nose on the seat.
Benjamin, why do you feel that you have America's weirdest relative? The search will continue through today, and then we got to go ahead and pick our finalists, and they'll battle it out, and then we get to meet the actual relatives that have been nominated, which is the best part. What's up, Benjamin?
Sweet did it.
Good
morning.
Good morning.
So I'm nominating my dirty old grandpa because he has this habit of watching porn really loud on his cell phone, and he thinks no one can hear it in the rest of the house.
We haven't gotten dirty old grandpa yet.
No, we have not. This is a great role to fill. And he does this, like, whenever, at your house or only at his house or whatever house he's in.
Whatever house he's in. Like, if we're at my uncle, especially around, like, Thanksgiving and holiday gatherings, he'll think he gets away with some privacy, and he just goes full blast on the volume.
Oh,
and
my
is
God.
he watching and just observing, or is he watching and
Is it like on like the news, like just in the background?
manipulating?
Exactly. No, he's not manipulating because he's like 85.
Right, so he's
you know
just
what
watching.
I mean?
He's
But
just watching.
It's just a source of entertainment.
All right, hold on 1 second. That's Benjamin, whose grandpa watches porn on full volume on his phone, which for him probably isn't full volume because his ears aren't probably working.
Yeah,
great.
I know.
So-
Wow. I mean, I like that one because it's just a tick that he has that he thinks nobody notices, but everybody notices and talks about. But it doesn't mean it'll change.
Cassandra, why do you feel that you have the weirdest relative in all of America? Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Go ahead. Who are you nominating?
Sweet Divots.
Sweet Divots.
So my uncle, his name is Steve, but he only goes by Uncle Steve. Only goes by Captain Steve. I have to call him Captain Uncle Steve. He thinks
I like the way this is going already.
He's a pirate or something, but he makes his own taxidermy. He used to be a Disney Imagineer, so he makes like weird creatures, like mystical creatures, in his own taxidermy. He'll make like a fairy body with like some like horse head.
This is the stuff
my
that
God,
Jake. This is
Jake.
like the stuff. Jake buys this crap at these dumb weirdo conventions
Those
he
are worth a
goes
lot
to.
of money.
And he's got
He's
like
an artisan.
legs of a frog and the face of a raccoon. And Jake's like, I paid $100 for that. Worth it.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. And he makes other things, like he makes like crazy things. YouTubers have been to his house just to see it. He lives in a casita. He doesn't live in the big house he has. He has his casita that he lives in and just goes into the house for like to cook.
Oh, this is a
wow.
telltale sign of a real deal weirdo.
That they don't live in their own
Right,
house.
They have a house that is full, big and plenty, but they choose to live in a tiny little hovel.
Yeah, and they
next to
only
the
go
house.
in for like one or two purposes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow.
Cassandra, this
It's
guy.
only for food and to shower, and then he goes back to his little casita, and he makes all this crazy stuff. He makes all these crazy stories, like the weirdest things on his walls, like fake animal heads, fake creatures, and like everyone growing up, he lived in the house too when I grew up, and everyone would want to see his room but be super scared of him.
Right,
But
like
he was
Jake.
like, Cassandra's weird uncle has the bookshelf that opens up if you pull the book, and then we get to go into this
Whoa,
room.
cool.
Did he ever try to
But,
give
like,
you one of
it's cool, but
his?
he's so weird.
Did he ever try to give you one of his weird creatures as like a present, like happy 5th birthday? Here's a, thing I made out of a tadpole and a lizard.
Yeah, he used to read me Edward Allan Poe and make me crazy Easter eggs with like crazy paintings on them.
Whoa.
All right, hold on, that's Cassandra's uncle who's into
He's the
taxidermy.
captain.
I think also
Captain.
one of the
Captain
weirder
Uncle.
parts of that was that YouTubers go to his house.
Weird
I mean, I'm
too.
sure he thinks that's like a brag-worthy thing that all these YouTubers are going to his house.
Valerie, who are you nominating for America's Weirdest Relative? Hi.
I will nominate my crazy Uncle Ted. It's always the uncles.
What does he do?
But he is a magician, and he would bring all the kids around for every holiday and spin his arm around as fast as he could, take a bristle brush, and then slap the top of his hand with the bristle brush, which would create a flow or stream of blood that would squirt out from the top of his hand.
Ew, what?
And he would do it at every event, and this was just his thing. We are Polish, so I just kind of thought it was a Polish thing.
You thought it was like some
But
old
I
Polish...
later learned this is not a normal thing to do.
So he's a magician, which is a weird.
sprayer.
That's already weird. But then he did a trick with his own real blood. This is not prop blood. Real blood.
Yes, and he can do it at any party. So if anybody needs a sprayer, we call him the sprayer.
great.
He's available.
Sprayer.
call him the
All right.
sprayer.
All right, listen. What a great crop today.
Oh my
We
God!
have to-
It just never disappoints.
I
I'm
mean,
shocked.
I'm sorry. Everyone on the phone that we can't get to. We've heard it enough. We've heard more than enough to get us into the finals. Thank you for calling. Thank you for nominating. Let's cleanse our palate with some Sum 41 and then come back. Thanks for helping this clip go viral. Clearly, based on the counter below, we're almost there.
Oh God! Yes, that is viral.
You really got to share this with some people, please. Seriously, please. We don't want to get real jobs.
Don't make us beg, but that's what we're already doing.
Yeah. So, we do these videos from time to time. You can check it out. And believe it or not, there's a complete show. These videos are the worst of the show. You want the best of the show? Check us out on KROQ every single day. We're also available on your apps as a podcast to accommodate your schedule, or we'll be juggling at a gas station near you soon.